What's up, squeegee slingers and waterfed pole wiggling wagglers?
That's my line. Hold on a minute. Hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. Now. Get your own line, trad girl. Yes, indeed. What is up, squeegee slingers and water-fed pole wiggling wagglers? You got to put a bit of Scottish in it.
Oh, sorry. I'm English.
She's English. All right then, folks. So thank you very much for tuning in. What we're going to do is allow just a few moments for people to log on and say hello. So basically the aim of tonight is just have a chat with you guys, see if there's any questions that people might have for us. We're also going to be talking a little bit about our pet hates in window cleaning, those little niggles that really kind of annoy us, don't we? And you've got one that you've just had recently, which we'll go into. But just before we kick off, we're just going to remind folks about the justgiving.com fundraiser that I'm doing at the moment. So if you don't know, I'll just show you guys. Look at this lovely thing. This is the Scottish kilt.
Stand on the chair.
Stand on the pose of the leg. No. Like, people can see it. Hello. If you're wondering, shaking the camera, are you okay there? I'm wearing the Scottish kilt for a fundraiser. Now, the web address, we're going to leave the link in the description below when this video has finished streaming. But the web address is www.justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Peter-Mackay. But don't worry, you won't have to write any of this down, it'll be in the description below. But essentially what we're doing, it explains on the web page the whole thing, what I'm hoping to achieve. But in a nutshell, I'm wearing the kilt to try and raise money for two things. One is for a lovely lady that we know. We're trying to save up for a bit of equipment for her wheelchair. She's a lovely lady, and she's not like me. When she gets a bit sore, I have a moan and a whinge. This lady's a bit of a trooper, isn't she?
Yeah.
So we're trying to do our best to help her out and give her something that will make her life a bit easier for her wheelchair. But also we're trying to get a bit of money for Spinal Injuries Scotland as well. So but all the details are on the web page in the link at the bottom of this video after it's gone live.
Yeah.
So yep, all the details are there.
And we have just over £1,100 raised so far, but we need 4,500 for Nettie's equipment alone, and then anything raised on top of that will go to the
Spinal Injuries
Scotland.
Yeah. So the plan was to wear it for a year, to wear the Scottish kilt for at least a year.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be a bit longer than that. So I'm going to have another maybe winter or two to do at least. But who knows? I might end up adopting and just carrying on wearing it anyway. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see me continue to wear the kilt or not. Maybe it's giving you bad dreams. So thank you very much again for tuning in. So we're going to be just talking about all things window cleaning today, whether it's...
And I'll be checking the comments too, so
Yes.
if I keep looking away.
Trad Girl is in charge of it.
I'm going to try and read.
I'm wondering to myself whether I can bring up the comments on my thing as well. I'm not quite sure. We've never tried this before. We've both got a tablet each, as you can see here. And oh yes, it's coming up. I might be able to see the comments as well, hopefully.
Well, we've got some questions already.
We do, and I've got the comments as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Do you want me to read them?
you can read them, my darling.
Okay.
What are they saying?
So, hello to everybody that's tuned in so far. Thank you for logging on.
Yes. On a
Taking
Saturday
some
night.
time out of your
They're probably
lives
thinking,
and
I could have
watching
gone
us.
out clubbing or poker night, and they've given it up to come and see Trad Man. I'm really sorry.
So, we've got James Kerr. Hello,
Okay.
James.
Hello.
And he says, hey guys, love your channel.
At least we've got one.
How long have you been cleaning, and do you plan to carry on as long as you can? Cheers.
Until my legs break, probably. Yes. How long have we been cleaning windows? Well, I personally started when I was about 19, I think it was, 18, 19. And I'm now, how old am I? 100 and... no. But what am I, 20? I'm almost 29, so yeah. A wee while anyway, a wee while. But yeah, how long have you been doing it now?
I've been doing it for a year.
About a year or so?
About a year.
Do you want to tell the folks kind of what it is that you do window cleaning related, how that started, how that came about, and what it is that you do?
I help Pete sometimes with his window cleaning. We have two little toddlers, so when we get a babysitter,
Yes.
I go out and help Pete. It's good. He's been training me up.
Attempting.
And I also have my own little window cleaning round.
Yeah, you do.
But I go out one day a month and do my 12 bungalows. And I love it. It's brilliant. Yeah. And it gets me out of the house, and it gives me my own little round.
Yeah.
So I keep practicing when I can't get out with Pete. I've got my.
You're getting
my
faster
little-
and faster, aren't you?
I'm getting faster and faster. Yes.
And what tools is it that you use?
I use the Mormon
Which one?
accelerator.
Hey, there we go.
scrub that. I use the Marmon accelerator. I know exactly what that is.
You know what you're talking about.
And I use it on a pole as well.
Good.
Carbon
good.
fibre pole?
It is
I
indeed.
use it on a
It is
black
indeed.
carbon fibre pole.
It is indeed.
There we go.
Yeah. So you know you enjoy that, don't you? And it's
But
mainly
Pete's had his
traditional.
own business for about 4 years now.
4 years.
4
yeah.
years.
Mhm.
So yeah, so he worked for a company from his up until 4 years ago,
Yeah.
company.
Big company.
And then he gave up his job and he went self-employed and started his own little business.
And it's been downhill ever since. But yeah, so is there any questions? I see there's a few things flagging up there.
Yeah, let's have a look. Rob Headley,
Yes, hello Rob.
he says, love your work, man. What gloves would you recommend during
Ooh.
wet, cold, etc.? But can you still feel what you're doing?
Well actually I've just brought out a video just recently all about looking after your hands and the gloves that I've been using, and to this day I've never found a pair of gloves I've been 100% happy with. Did you get to try the gloves?
I did, the new blue ones.
The new blue
Is that
ones.
the ones on your
It's
video?
the Showa they're called. If you check out that video, it's
I
about
like those gloves.
not the latest video, but perhaps the one before that. It was all about looking after your hands.
I'm like you, Rob. I like to be able to feel what I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
And actually, when these blue gloves that Pete let me use, when he first got them, I was a bit like, oh no, they're quite chunky and things. But actually, I got on okay with them,
Yeah.
even though
It's not as
they're
bad as
chunky.
it
And I like
actually
to be
looks.
able to feel things as well.
Mhm.
I would never wear gloves up until quite recently.
Yeah,
until I started
well, because I
gloves,
bought
so.
the it was like what they call it, is it Dickies? They're quite chunky DIY gloves, and they were supposed to be windproof and waterproof, but they were far too chunky and rigid, so I didn't even bother doing a video on those ones. But yeah, if you check out that video, Rob, there's a video all about those gloves, and I think I actually left a link to those actual gloves in the description of that video. So check that out, buddy. I would highly recommend those ones, because the weather conditions that you just described is exactly what happens here: cold, wet, windy, miserable. Welcome to Scotland. So
That's a normal summer day in
that's
Scotland.
a summer day in Scotland. That's a summer day. So hopefully that helps you, Rob.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
What else
so
have we got?
should we tell about? Should we move on to our stories then about what we?
Yes, indeed. So yeah, we could talk about that. It's just
Yeah.
as a rough kind of thing.
And I really want to tell.
Yes, your
everyone
little
about
story.
mine.
Okay, well we'll let Try Girl tell our little
Yes.
story. We're going to be talking about our
Need
pet
to
hates.
share this with you and get it off my
Get
chest.
it off your chest. And
Make me feel better. No, joking.
do you want to lie down on the sofa and we'll all get a notepad? Okay. Right. Tell the good people at home what your pet hate recently is in window
So,
cleaning.
my recent pet hate is I have some lovely customers, all 12 of them, and I love them. They're wonderful. They're all elderly customers. And they've just started to make their lovely green flat lawn into beautiful flowers and ornaments, and they've gone a bit crazy. So every month that I go, just really to this one house, but they're all adopting it in this little court area. They seem to be. It used to just be a lovely little square of grass that I would just walk along, clean the window, walk off, fine. But now it's like it's pretty much a dance. It's a dance. It's like trying to climb over ornaments, trying not to stand on the plants, and then I use a pole, and I can only squeegee the top half of the windows with my pole because there's ornaments. I can't get it down to the ground anymore, and it's like, oh, and I just want to say to them, please stop putting ornaments in your garden. Do you hate your window cleaner that much?
Yeah. No, it's
But
become
it
like a Ninja Warrior course.
It is a lovely garden. I must admit, they've done a wonderful job with it. They've done
Yeah.
really good. But yeah, it's definitely becoming. It turned out it's gone from a really easy
Little ornaments.
job to a
Little plants.
very difficult job in the space of a couple of months. So.
Yeah. We've got some pet hates in there. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. What are your pet hates?
John Nellis. Hi John, how you doing? He says hello. LJ. Hi Lewis, you alright? Nice to see you here. That's great. See, I know some of these people. you see. Oh well. Yeah, so if you want to read out the comments, and I can also read them
Okay.
as well, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah, and we're so sorry if we missed some of your comments.
Yes, just keep typing.
They just go quite fast. And sometimes I don't get to see them all. And just not quick enough.
Yeah.
So
no,
have you got any pet hates? What's
my
yours?
pet hate. Oh. It's my own fault
Have you got a
actually.
list?
My pet, I've got a list. Yeah. My
You
first.
have to stick to window cleaning.
It has to be
Yes.
stick to window cleaning.
You
Alright.
can't add your marriage in there.
I can't add the marriage in there. Yeah, let's not go there. I think one of my top 3 was actually my own fault. It's when first thing in the morning, you think you've got all your tools, and you go to that first job. You've maybe walked to it, maybe 100 yards or whatever down the street. You've got to it. you've maybe even climbed up the top of a ladder to start, and you realise you've left your squeegees in the van.
Oh.
I've done that a few times because I like to hang
Oh,
my squeegees
no.
up on the shelf
Yeah.
in the van. So that's not my customer's fault. That's my own stupid
Yeah.
fault. I've not had enough coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Then you have to go all the way
But
back down.
I've climbed up the ladder and I just go, huh, and I've got to
no.
all the way back down, walk to the van, and maybe there's people looking out their window. Oh, there's the window cleaner. What's he do? Oh, he's forgot his squeegees again.
Yeah.
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 But that's my own fault.
Yeah.
That's my own fault. But oh no, beats that for a pet hate. Dog mess.
Oh yeah.
Dog, I
mess.
hate it. I can't stand it.
It's not
horrible.
so bad, I feel, traditionally, because we haven't got equipment really to drag.
Oh, you still
around
manage
in
to
it,
stand
but-
in it. You
Yeah,
still
you
manage
still
to
manage to
stand in
stand
it.
But I really feel for the water-fed guys out there that have to drag their poles and hose
Yeah,
and
I'd
things.
pull the
yeah.
hose through it. Yeah, well, that's exactly
Yeah,
it.
oh,
I think
that
we
must be
tried
awful,
stuff.
like trying to wind it back up. And
The amount of times, I don't know if let us know if this has happened to you, but you've maybe been doing some traditional window cleaning. You stand in an undesirable, I call them the landmines, and you go up your ladder and you don't notice you've stood in something until you start coming back down the ladder and you go, what is that on my rung?
Oh no.
No!
Did you smell it? Did you actually start smelling
You've got to
it?
give it a sniff.
It's brown and it looks yucky. Are you inside?
Fall off my ladder with a green face.
Well, Ben's got a good pet hate. This is
Oh, has
actually
he?
one of mine
What's
too.
Ben
And
said?
probably Pete. Ben Taylor says, "Hi Ben." He says, "Hi Chadman, Chad girl. Love the show. Thank you. Pet hate is old black rubber seals. Total nightmare.
Oh yeah, yeah. and
Totally agree.
especially
Yeah.
if they leak onto white
Yeah.
frames.
Oh, I know.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
And it happens every month normally.
does,
Every
yeah.
time you go round, if it's perished rubber seals, they leak that black residue all down the frame and
And you've just finished
horrible.
cleaning it and you've wiped it up and you're about to walk away and then you just see that little black run coming. You're like, oh no. Oh, so you
Yeah.
give up the whole thing again. And do you feel like they catch sometimes on your squeegee? Like you have to be very careful not to
Oh,
touch
yeah.
them with your rubber because
Yeah,
rubber on
friction.
rubber, it starts causing friction. It catches and you leave a little line. And,
well,
oh,
especially with
it's
something
terrible.
like if you're using a precision squeegee like the Liquidator, it's got more friction on the corners anyway. So if you're going up against an abrasive seal, especially the big chunky ones that stick out, you just have to come down at more of a flat angle rather than sort of at a dive bombing angle because it just gets stuck. But no, the black runs out the frame is a nightmare.
Yeah,
So-
that was a good one, Ben. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if we've got any more.
APS window cleaning. He's the
Ah.
chap that's helping us with the charity. He's the chap that tried to stop smoking.
We were really rooting for you.
I know.
We appreciate all of your help.
Yeah, he's doing
But-
very well.
Is he?
He is. Look, he
Is
says
Is still doing it?
he's got £100 saved up for the charity. So if you haven't seen
Thank you so much.
APS
Thank
window
you.
cleaning services, check him out on Instagram. I
Yeah.
think he's started up on YouTube again. So let's have a look on here as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, and all of those extra ones just tuning in now. Pete was mentioning about his Tradman wheel appeal that we were just talking about.
Yes,
there.
they'll be in the
basic money
description
for
below.
that. Yeah, so it'll be in the description. And Pete has got his kilt on so he could show you. I tried to make him stand on the chair, but
Nope.
why would he stand on the chair? Tried to make him stand on the chair so you
Nobody
get a bit
wants
of
to
knee
see my-
action in there, but he won't.
Nobody wants to see my hairy legs. Nobody wants to see a Scot. Put in the comments below if you want. No, don't do it.
Yeah, if enough people say it, he'll have to stand on the
Yeah.
chair. Peer pressure.
You're going to take a vote now. No, because you know what they're going to ask. So let's just not go there. What other ones we've got? Victor is saying, my pet peeve is when my customer follows me everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had that.
yeah.
Especially it's usually for some reason older ladies I've found that normally
Can't
just...
say that.
I'm sorry, it's the truth. I tell the truth.
Ageist.
On the Tradman channel, it's all about
Yeah.
truth. So
Yeah.
that is the truth. That is what happens. They're about 4 foot high, but they have a walking stick made of like adamantium, and they're ready to use it. You know, if you miss a bit or
I just feel like they like chatting to you. You know, you're there, you're doing a job for them. They
Yeah.
just like to catch up, don't they?
They do,
really?
they
And,
do.
you
They just
know,
like to talk to you and
Yeah.
tell you about all
But
their
yeah,
medical
that's
history.
a good one. Sometimes it's nice just to get on with your work. Having a lot of all my customers are elderly customers, and I do say that my window cleaning round's getting faster, but a lot of my time is taken up with talking, which I actually quite like, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I like catching up and things. With
Paul's
them, but
got
yeah,
a good
they don't
one
have
here.
time.
People saying to me, why are you cleaning in the rain?
Yes, I was just about to mention that
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
yeah.
that is a very good one. And we actually brought out on our customer information sheet that we give to all of our customers, especially new customers.
Yeah.
We put a little bit about window cleaning in the rain on that, because we were getting a bit fed up of people asking us that as well. So, and we just explained a bit of science behind rainwater and things like that.
Yeah,
and do you know what?
Clean.
Since then, how many people have had asked us about clean rain?
None.
Nope, they've all accepted that you can window clean in the rain, and it's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they stopped asking us. So actually, it did help us doing that.
I just put in
in
the customer form that if it was really heavy rain and it's like bouncing off the windowsills,
so the mud splashing up,
any dirt off the windowsills was splashing onto the glass, then I wouldn't do it. But as long as the rainwater is just coming down, it's not bouncing off anything, then it's perfectly fine. So that's fine. What's up?
I can't pronounce your name, but yes, hi, Haggis, Scotland. Yes, okay.
Oh, is somebody going a bit crazy? No, that's fine.
I'm gonna get Pete to read out your name.
Oh yeah, Woe fans agreed with me, not realising you stepped in something.
Oh yeah.
See, it's not just me.
Mustafa Troll. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I apologise in advance if that wasn't right. But yes, hello. Nice to meet you.
I can't pronounce these names. I'm really sorry if I can't pronounce your name, but they're Mozi. Hello from Prague. Hello.
Ooh,
hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you've got better weather than we have.
Oh, I'd love to live in Prague.
Yeah,
Ooh,
dream
lovely.
on.
Nice place.
Oh, that's cool.
Happy Saturday, Alan.
Oh, Gary's on. McSqueegee.
Oh, hello, Gary.
Hello, Gary. How you doing, Gary? This is how Gary talks. I love Gary. Gary's my chum. I like Gary. Gary, we need to make more videos, man. All right, so there's a shout out from McSqueegee.
Gary, we were talking about just a moment ago. I never stepped on something. We were talking about our pet hates. So if you've got one, put it in. Window cleaning,
McSqueegee, if you have a pet hate, because you're a window cleaner as well, let us know your pet hate. So
and
check that out.
One of Pete's pet hates was dog mess around. And he was talking about, you don't realise it's there until you've stepped in it and you've gone down your ladder. So that's what he's on about there.
Victor's away, so see you later, Victor. Clearview C. All right, folks. Late to the show was out walking the dog. This chap's Scottish as well. Awesome. Hope you have had a lovely time.
So everybody else in the world.
Well, that's very true. McSqueegee says drives me mad, so he has the same problem.
Yeah.
He has the same problem.
Does,
So do you have any other pet peeves? Or have you been out working? Anything else that kind of annoys you? You wish you could change?
Do you know what? This might just be getting really fussy now.
Yeah.
But bobbly glass.
Bubbly
glass.
The lumpy
glass.
Lumpy glass.
Why can't all glass just be completely flat? Why does it have to be bobbly on the outside, and on the inside? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because no matter what way you squeegee it, you do even straight bowls, which is a swear word to me, that it still leaves solution behind, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and you end up having to buff it, know, because you've left. There's no way to properly squeegee bobbly glass, and I have 3 of my customers have.
That's why I gave the customers to her. I didn't want the glass, you know.
Yeah, bobbly glass. Yeah. So that's a bit of a pet hate, but do you know what? Compared to dog mess, I'd cope with bobbly glass. Yeah.
We've got one here. Caleb, the business owner, says the worst is frames that nick your squeegee within 5 panes.
Yeah.
Especially if it's wooden ones that have got like maybe a little chunk or a chip, anything like that in the framework, no rubber seal. They are the squeegee wreckers.
I actually have a customer like that, and every time I don't wipe her frames anymore. I dab it because it's just flaking. The wood is just flaking off now. So I'm really scared that how much damage I'm going to cause by just simply wiping the water off with a cloth. So I just dab it now. But you have to be very careful not to touch it, don't you?
That's
just
it.
tighten.
Well, all the paint can flake off of the frames as well, and then you end up with a bit of paint all over your applicator, and it's in your squeegee blade, and you start trying to squeegee the next window, it's leaving lines because you've got bits of paint on your. Because in the area we're in, it's quite a historical area, Huntly, the place we live. So there's a lot of old-fashioned windows, isn't there? Historical. What do they call it? When they preserve the building. You're not allowed to amend the windows because they're historical windows. So you end up having to squeegee these things that are over 100 years old. Not good fun. Nope. Not good fun.
Good day from Australia.
T. Royce says rose bushes right under the window. Yes, definitely.
Oh,
if you think
yeah.
you've got it bad, I've got no. Look at that.
Oh, I got the knee out.
I got the knee out. That's all you're getting. But yeah, you can imagine me trying to
Yeah,
get through a
yeah.
thorn bush in a kilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
No, and it's if you do it traditionally as well, and you have to lean in and try
Yeah.
and wipe the window or the sill
Yeah.
or anything, it's
Get stabbed.
Yeah, you get stabbed. Yeah.
Or you
It's
end
not
up with
so
it all
bad
in
in
your
the winter
pouch.
because they're all dying back a bit, but in the summer, I've struggled with that.
Yeah, when you push past all the plants or bushes, anything like that, it's another pet hate of mine. When all the plants end up going into your pouch, you know. So, like bits of leaves and
Oh, I
sticks,
see.
and not the whole bush.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna say,
like,
how far are you leaning? to
she
get
didn't
off
pay her
the-
bill last month, so I'm taking her bush. But
the rose bush.
yeah, your rose bush is coming with me, love. But,
Oh dear.
yeah, but no. When you push past plants,
Yeah.
I mean, I wear 2 pouches. I wear one in the front and one kind of around the back there. And if I'm pushing past plants, all the leaves or the top of
Yeah.
flowers, they all end up in my pouch. So I've got to try and kind of take all my cloths out, get all the rubbish out of my pouch, and then put my cloths back in. That's a bit of a pet hate.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, I totally agree with Who Fan 1989.
Mm.
When customers say you've left a mess, and you go back and it's on the inside.
Oh.
My goodness, that's a nightmare. Oh,
I've had that
Yeah.
multiple times. Yeah.
when you're working for the company.
That was the worst
Yeah.
one. When I was used to work for a company, we got called back on a job that was 45-minute drive away. Now, in hindsight, I mean, my suggestion was that if you had to go on a call out that was quite far away, that you charge some kind of fee if you go there and there's no issue. But
Yeah.
it's very hard to prove because
Yeah.
they could just put something on the outside if they
Yeah.
know that
Well,
was
I
the
think
case.
if
but
any of my customers did that, called me, I literally would say to them, "Can you just rub
Just
it
check
on the
the
inside
inside.
to make sure it's definitely
Yeah.
on the inside?" Just because, it
Well,
would
we
be.
drove
a
back
nightmare.
45-minute drive to this customer's house, who actually turned out not to be in, and it was a conservatory. We checked the windows, and just from a distance, we could actually see a bit of a bird's nest on one of the windows, and we thought, there's no way we've missed that. No way. So we went up to the window and realised that this bird's nest was actually on the inside of the window.
I had that the other day. Birds
Yeah.
nest on the inside. How
Yeah.
weird. How does that?
But they didn't go up and
happen?
check
Yeah,
it. They just obviously
Yeah.
saw it and went, "Those window cleaners! I'm getting on the phone." And they just phoned to get back here, you know. So, but yeah, so we've had that before. But I've not had anything like that being self-employed. Just the
No.
occasional,
Yeah.
like it might be a little mark or something, and they phone you or text you saying you missed a bit. And
Did we not have somebody say that and you asked if it was on the inside and it was actually?
it was
and
actually on the
fine,
inside.
yeah.
Yeah, it saves me a trip. You
It
know, just
does,
like put your finger on it first.
Yeah.
So.
Because Pete travels quite far. He's got quite a big area that he
Yeah.
covers, so he doesn't really want to be
It's
traveling
about
to.
the furthest it goes is about 40 minutes away, something about
Yeah.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got
Sorry, I'm
some.
missing your comments.
There's a few new ones. That's good.
You keep talking and I'll read.
I'll keep talking. How was your day?
No, don't talk to me. Talk to them.
I am talking to them.
Oh,
I talk to
okay.
you enough. I'm talking to these lovely people. But yeah, so I'm trying to think of other pet hates that I have. There's a long list of them. There is a long list, but when you've got brand new cloths, right? Brand new spanky schwanky cloths, and then you go and wipe a frame and you get that black stuff on your cloth that never ever comes out. You can put it in the washing machine, you can pressure wash it, wring it out, and that black marks is on it for life. But not that it really overly affects the cloth, but it just doesn't look very nice, you know. So that's my little pet hate.
Paul buys one.
Paul,
You had this quite recently, and
Did I?
actually I had this quite recently as well. But actually, it turned out to be okay. But the side gate being locked.
Oh, that's annoying, especially
is
when
annoying.
you've messaged them the night before
To
or
say
called
open
them.
your gate. We're
Open
coming
the
the
gate.
next day.
Yeah, and then you get there and you, you know, and you think, well, I could do the front and just charge for the front, or I could just leave it and come
Yeah.
back. And,
Yeah.
but
Fortunately, my customers left the back gate open, so I was able to go in the back gate and then unlock the side gate to get to the front and
Yeah.
then back around and out again. So
How
that wasn't
many-
so bad. But
how many of you, when you've got to a lock gate, you think, right, this job's actually quite a good payer. I need to get over this fence. I need to jump this fence.
don't admit to it. Your other half might be watching.
Yeah, I used to
Get you
work
in
with a
trouble.
guy. He's you probably I would very much doubt you'd be watching Colin. And this guy, I'm not even joking you, he was a spitting double of Jackie Chan, and he could move like him too. And he used to be able to climb whatever, like 6, 7, 8 foot high fences, like it was nothing.
Pete
It was
has a
great.
funny story about climbing over a
Oh
a
no!
fence.
I wasn't wearing a kilt, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully you weren't wearing
Yeah.
a kilt. Otherwise, it might not have happened.
Yeah, very, in a short nutshell, I was climbing over a gate that was maybe about 5 foot high, roughly. But it was like an old iron gate with like arrowheads on the top, so it was maybe about half a dozen arrowheads like that. So I jump on top of the gate, and one of the arrowheads goes up my trouser leg, and I jump off the gate to get around the back, and obviously my leg is caught on this arrowhead, so my leg is actually dangling kind of up there, and my head is kind of near the floor, so I'm upside down with my leg in the air attached to a gate and my head near the floor. This is when I was like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, when you were
I was young and stupid.
working for a business.
Well, younger and more stupid than I currently am now, but slightly improved.
Yeah.
Older and wiser now. But I nearly snapped my leg
Colin
off.
was with you then, wasn't he?
No, I was by myself.
Oh, were you by yourself?
I had to somehow do like a Jean-Claude Van Damme and lift my torso up and kind of try and unhook my leg off of a gate and then fell on the floor.
Oh dear.
Don't
gates,
jump stuff.
We do not like them
Don't
being
jump
locked.
stuff.
If any customers are watching, don't lock your side gate when they're coming.
There's a guy, Jarpot said, the dude looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, it's not you, is it?
Maybe.
My young Padawan. But that's actually quite the thing, because I like Ewan McGregor. So
Oh well, there we go.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, wow, I'm impressed.
I had a friend whose dad went to school with Ewan McGregor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. There you go. Awesome. Let's see if we can find some more comments. There's been a few. You're slacking on your job, my good lady.
I know.
All these comments.
You keep talking and I'll read again.
Okay, what we're going to talk about, folks? Keep talking. I'm going to keep talking.
What is
think
it
of another
called?
pet
A kilt?
hate. Yeah, I'm going to try and think of another pet hate of mine now. What? Read it out then. Don't keep it to yourself.
Caleb, the business owner, doesn't like it when people call the kilt. Can we have a
Oh,
kilt?
again?
A skirt. Not a skirt, people.
This.
It's a kilt.
This lady's. Don't get off my leg, woman. Gosh, she's getting a bit naughty.
They can't see it on there. You see, they can't see it on the thing. You need to show them how far down it goes. So they can see
It
it
cut just above the knee. That is the traditional Scottish.
Yeah.
Wear is just above the knee.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. It's not a short skirt.
No.
I could get one.
And for those that have missed it, we're going to keep saying it because we're trying to raise money for our wonderful, wonderful friend. Pete is wearing a kilt no matter what the weather when he's out about working to raise money for a lovely friend of ours to get her some new wheelchair wheels. £4,500 we need. We've got 1,100 so far. If you'd like to donate, it's in the description.
Yes, it is.
The link is in the description. The tartan wheel appeal. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, indeed.
Really
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Let's see. Okay. Caleb says, clients who walk around the house with you talking politics.
Oh,
Yeah, I've had that sometimes. They really try and get you involved, and you're just like, no.
No, we don't really do politics, so it's very difficult to...
One of my elderly customers, right, she's, Donald Trump was on the TV.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this? She's one of these straight-talking old ladies, you know? And she says, hey, Pete, you know that Donald Trump? And I was like, yeah. She says, well, you know what that man needs? I don't know. I would bend him over my knee and give him a good spank. That's what he needs to behave himself. Okay, what do you say to that? I'm in the middle of cleaning her inside windows going, yes, I agree, absolutely. You take him over your knee and you spank him.
Take a YouTube video.
Yeah, take a YouTube video.
You might get a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody that's joining us. Thank you for watching. Hello, Praveen. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounced that right.
Am I hearing right? Are you guys in competition? No.
Who?
No. Yeah. I think what they mean is, are we different companies? So technically, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you're your own. Yeah, she's competition.
I'm not much of a competition though.
No.
I only have 12 little bungalows
Carly,
that Pete actually gave to me.
She quite fancied her own little thing to do, her own little business to
Yeah.
organise, to run, but not too much. We have two young kids. One's 4 years old, one's 2 years old. So you have a full-time job as it is anyway with our crazy two kids.
Yes.
So, but you wanted something where you could get out the house,
Yep.
go and interact with adult human beings.
Yes.
And because you're a people person,
Yeah.
so which I'm not. So, no, I'm joking. But
when Pete and when I used to help him with his work every now and again when we had a babysitter, I would spend the whole time talking to the householder, the customer, at the door, and Pete would clean the windows. And that would be our roles.
That is pretty much it. I'd finish the whole
Pete
job.
would be like, you go that way, clean those windows, and I'll go this way, and we'll meet in the middle, and I'd still be at the door with the customer talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he decided that it was time that I just
Gary.
what?
He's a friend of ours who lives nearby. He says his pet hate is when I go and have lunch with him because we end up always spending like an hour to 2 hours talking.
Yep.
Sorry, Gary. Yeah, let's have a look.
What part of Scotland do you work in? Mac the gardener. Aberdeenshire.
Near
We
the
live and work
Grampian
in
Mountains.
Aberdeenshire. Yeah.
Yes. We're
I
in,
don't know if you know Scotland at all.
people will think we're from like Lord of the Rings.
We're
You
the
live in the Shire?
northeast, top northeast.
Yes.
Our nearest biggest city would be Aberdeen.
Aberdeen. We're kind of between Aberdeen and Inverness. So if you've heard of the
Yeah.
Loch Ness Monster, we're kind of about an hour and a half away from there. So
Yeah.
south of there.
But we've never seen it, so don't ask us any
I
questions
have.
about the Loch Ness Monster.
I have. I've got a YouTube video coming soon.
I'll tune in for that one.
Yeah. Oh, Caleb says older clients who start talking about a dead spouse. That's awkward.
Oh, that is
Yeah, that's
that's really
You never
tough,
know what to
isn't it,
say.
actually?
You never know
Yeah,
what to say. You
yeah,
just kind of
it's
go,
very tough.
I'm really sorry to hear that. It just doesn't feel like enough, does it?
I know, and
You
then
know?
you feel bad that you have to leave and move on to your next
I
job
know.
because you're
Yeah,
on a
it's
time limit,
horrible.
especially with the daylight less
Yeah.
in the winter for us.
Oh,
It's,
do you remember that one
it's
lady
tough,
though? It was the other way around. She told us about her dead spouse, but she was actually quite positive about it because it meant she sacked us from doing the windows because apparently she had more time on her hands.
Yep.
She could do the windows herself. Because you remember
Yeah.
she called and she said, "My husband's dead now, so I can manage the windows myself." I went, okay.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, she didn't sound that sort of bothered.
No, a background story is a husband had been very, very ill for a long time. And
Yeah.
I'm sure he was really suffering.
That was another
so
different awkward
it
one.
was-
You just go,
she was
well, okay
quite-
then.
I think she was quite ready for him to, to
Move on.
die.
And kind of,
yeah.
yes.
So
Yes, I don't know
yeah, but she
how
was
to handle
she was
that
quite
kind of thing.
pleased that she didn't have to pay us anymore to clean the windows. She could do it herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's difficult when they bring up topics like that because, yeah.
Yeah. Best way to detail tracks. Austin.
yeah. Is that like in America when you
Yeah,
have the window
in
tracks and
America
Australia?
when they do window cleaning, it's external, internal, and they open the window and they clean all the tracks and everything as well.
We're saying this, but if that's wrong, please correct
No,
us because
I
we've
know
never
this for a
been to
fact.
America. So
I watch YouTube.
Oh,
Everything on
yes.
YouTube is fact. So.
yes, there we go. yeah,
yeah.
sorry, we can't answer that question because we don't actually have tracks in the
No,
UK.
in the
well,
UK we do
in
external,
Scotland,
don't we?
Yeah,
It's just external
We just do
usually.
external windows and they don't have screens or anything. It's
No
just
screens.
literally glass and a windowsill and a frame. Really, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
I mean, some people, if you
if
offer
anybody
them...
can answer that question.
Yep, if you've got any other Americans on there, please
Yeah.
leave in the comments below
For
if you do a
Austin.
full service, if it's external, internal tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen on people on YouTube in America, they've got their Hoover,
Wow.
they're hoovering the tracks, they're
Gosh.
cleaning the screens. It's like a full, luxury package.
Yeah,
you
wow,
know, it's
that
like the
sounds
whole
great.
thing. UK people don't want to pay for that. do
Well,
they?
they don't have tracks. So,
But,
yeah.
well, we've got little thin ones that you could clean out, but it's, in this
you
culture
mean when you
here,
open the window?
yeah, it's just the track at the bottom.
Just when you open the window, not when you
Yeah, they
actually-
do the whole thing usually. But just a different culture here. People just usually want the external windows cleaned and the frames and sills, but internals now and again, once or twice a year, usually. But that's about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
what was this? Just external?
How do you stand the cold wearing the kilt?
Oh, well, I lost feeling in everything from the waist down a long time ago. So,
We bought him some really long woolly
the kilt,
socks.
the kilt socks.
So the kilt socks go up to his knees, and then he's only got a bit of a gap between.
So it's just my knees that fall off.
And
Yeah.
he's got tighty pants on.
Thanks for that. Sometimes.
What do you
That's
call
what
it
she
when I got
thinks.
underwear? Tighty
Yeah.
underwear on. So
Yeah, let's talk
that-
about Pete's under the
that
kilt.
stops the wind, travelling anywhere.
You've got to this time of year.
Yeah, but he, you soldier on.
A soldier on.
It's for a good cause.
It's for a good,
good cause.
It is
so
for a good cause.
yeah,
It
he
is for a
doesn't
good
moan
cause.
about it
No.
much.
Yeah, not again.
Yeah, I
Just-
kind of now. I've heard it too many times.
I know it's one of those things though. You kind of get used to it. Like the
Yeah.
first few months, just put a bit of background. Wearing the kilt in Scotland, for those of you that don't know, is not a very common thing. There's not many people actually walk around wearing the kilt as a normal thing. It's more weddings and Scottish like country dancing type of thing.
It's a traditional,
traditional
dress,
thing.
but you would only wear it for a special occasion normally.
So going around wearing it to go to the shops, to go and get your bread and your milk, people are a bit like, huh?
Yeah.
You see, so being a bit self-conscious is a thing to start with. That was quite difficult, but also the temperature, because when I first started wearing it, it was in March of 2018 this year.
And we had a snowstorm.
The Siberian beast from the east.
That's what it was called, the Siberian beast from the east. So
well, if you log on to justgiving.com, you'll see the picture up at the top of the page. That first picture is the one where I first started wearing the kilt, and I'm in deep snow wearing it, so that was chilly.
So, back to window cleaning.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm squeegee tighty pants. That's unheard of. You love my tighties, man.
Yeah. What's your TDS measuring from the tap?
45.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Easy as that. 45.
Boom.
Is that good? What's that?
It's very good.
Is it?
It's very good. Yeah.
I think we've got quite good Scottish water here.
Yeah. Well, it's anything usually, especially I'm going to recommend anything below 10 is pure water. So we're a wee bit above obviously pure water, but I mean some places have hundreds of the parts per million. So we're really good. It means that if we're using resin, that it doesn't have to work so hard. If you're in a hard water area, your resin has to work pretty hard. Unless you're using an RO system, that takes the edge off a lot better than straight DI. But so there you go.
There you go. I was not expecting it to be that quick. I was like, I'm going to ask this question and we're not going to have a clue.
And Pete's going to be on Google.
We're good with Google. And then, it was just like, 45. I was like, really? So that's not a made up number.
If it's about window cleaning, I have a head of knowledge. Right. Anything else?
Is it made up?
Ask. No, it's not made up. No, it's not made up. Let's see. Wet tracks, saturate the track and squirt the track out. Yeah, so T. Roy is from the States and he's saying about how he's cleaning the tracks.
Yeah, so Austin, read T. Roy's comment because he's got some.
APS window cleaning. He's actually in England. His TDS is 367.
Wow, so 45 is quite good then.
Wow, that's quite high. Yeah, John Nellis is 57 ppm for me in County Durham.
Oh yeah, County Durham. That's quite close to.
That's what he says. Not far from Trad Girl's hometown.
There we go.
There you go. You're like, what's the
buds.
How far away is Durham from Middlesbrough?
Not too far. 45 minutes ish.
Okay, but is that not far enough to be rivals?
No. County Durham we're buds.
Are you buds?
Yeah, Newcastle, Sunderland. Getting a bit on the. Let's not talk rivals.
Brian says, when are you fitting a big water tank to the van?
Well, Pete actually just got rid of his water fed stuff actually and has gone back completely traditional again. So, because we were actually thinking about it, weren't we? But there's nothing against the water fed system. We actually really liked it when we had it, but he just wasn't using it enough. He can actually do a lot of his customers traditional, and especially with the pole, squeegee on a pole. Mom made that really possible with the accelerator. So that's what we. Well,
this is it. Traditional equipment's come a long way. I think if the accelerator hadn't been invented, I probably would have gone at least 50-50 trad water-fed pole, or maybe even more water-fed pole.
I'm thinking when he's old.
When I'm old.
Or older.
I don't get old.
And his knees, can't quite get up the ladders anymore. He might move to.
Never.
So he doesn't have to go up the ladders.
No, the thing is, I've used water-fed pole for a long time. When I used to work for two large companies, it was mainly water-fed pole actually we were doing. I used some of the top-of-the-range stuff that we were using every day. But for me, the enjoyment factor really wasn't there. Like for traditional, I enjoy the skill element to it. The water-fed pole, I just didn't quite enjoy it as much. It was.
It's just personal preference.
It's personal preference. Some people prefer.
They're both very good. It's just whatever you prefer. Yeah.
I just prefer the traditional method. So.
Do we have spotless water tanks up our way?
We don't have them. They're basically.
I don't know what that is. That's also.
Trad Girl doesn't know basically what they are. If you don't know, spotless water is basically, imagine a huge container that you can drive up and you fill up your van with pure water and you pay for that service.
That's very clever.
Imagine going and filling your van at a petrol station. Same idea, but big pure water tank. So, but no, we don't have them.
Get some of those.
I think they're mainly in England, to be honest. I don't know of any in Scotland.
Ashaf, I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you for being a fan. That's very nice.
Big fan. Awesome.
Yes, Paul, I can imagine they are brilliant. That sounds,
Yeah.
It does sound brilliant to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I guess it would save you. You'd have to probably work out filtering your own water and then buying pre-filtered water. But I
Yeah.
guess if you've worked out and it's cheaper, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, this is it. But yeah, I mean, when I used to work for companies, we had, I think the tanks were around about 800 litres, or maybe even some of them were 1,000 litre tanks that we had in long wheelbase vans. And it was a 2-man system, heated water, it was top of the range stuff, and it was great. But the thing is, the company I used to work for, we were doing a lot of high pole work. I mean, I was working with poles that were 65 feet long, doing casinos, hotels, multi-story buildings. So they needed to have that system. There was just no way to do it traditionally. My work up this way, we're not really near many big, large buildings, to be honest. Most stuff is ground level and first floor. There's not an awful lot near us that's, you know, hugely higher than that. So a lot of our work we could easily manage traditionally, no problem at all. So I was only using it maybe maximum 10, 11 times a month or something.
Yeah.
So,
so it just wasn't worth having it for us. But but it's good if you. I think Caleb, the business owner, says that he prefers that over traditional Mormon, which fair enough.
Yep.
Whatever works best for you.
Yep. This is it.
And we've got what rubber are you using at the moment from Knight's Window Cleaner?
Sorry, what was that? I'm too busy reading comments.
What rubber we using?
Rubber. At the moment, because it's quite cold as well, I'm using the soft Mormon rubber. So that seems to cope pretty well with the cold weather. Because I was using Ettore Master Soft, because that's a bit of a harder rubber than the Mormon stuff. Especially in the cold, it just wasn't performing so good. So I've gone for as soft as rubber as basically I can. Or you can go for things like Pulex. Pulex is a really good rubber, soft rubber, but it depends what climate you're in.
Soft rubber for the cold, are you saying?
Yes,
hard rubber for
the
warmer weather.
climate.
Yeah, so we switch in the summer to Ettore.
Sometimes. I mean, Ettere's got a much better fit in the liquidator channels. The Mormon stuff, you end up needing to pin it. So personally, I recommend getting something like the Unger Green clips, and I've shown you that. You put them in the ends of the liquidator and it holds the rubber really nicely. If you don't, what sometimes can happen is if you hit a dry bit of glass, it can snag the rubber and pull it out by a millimetre or two, and that's enough to leave an arc. But also if maybe you pull the squeegee along a rubber seal, you get that friction kicks in, and again it can pull the rubber out a little bit as you're fanning and leave an arc. So by pinning the squeegee rubber, it means that the rubber doesn't move and you're a lot less likely to get any arcs. So
and you've got a video on that, have you?
I do. I'm doing a playlist at the moment. If you haven't checked out already, I've got a playlist called Squeegee Skills. So it's running from, the first video is all about cutting the rubber, fitting it in the channel, making sure everything's nice, and how to set that up. So
Tradman's very good at explaining things as well.
I try to.
If I can understand it, then I'm
sometimes
sure
it's very difficult
can,
to.
So.
I mean, video is a lot better because sometimes people comment on a video and it's very hard to convey how to do something just through typing. I do try and answer every single comment I ever get on a video to try and answer your questions, but sometimes it's just very difficult to do it in words. It's much easier to make a video. So if you have any suggestions that you would like on Squeegee Skills, anybody has a request on something that you would like to see, ping it in the comments here and then I can note that down and do a video on it for you.
Yeah, and I think we had one about holidays. Oh, here you go, from 50 metre plus divers. Hi, great chat. Thank you. That's very kind. How do you deal with catching up on your rounds when you're off on holidays? Cheers.
I don't go on holiday.
Well, believe it or not, Pete is so good at if he knows we're taking time off for any reason, he will do as much as he can before we take time off. So he's kind of a little bit ahead of himself. So when we come back again, he doesn't have so much to do and he can actually still finish his round on time.
Yeah.
And the whole 4 years that
I've
Pete's
never
been
been
self-employed,
late.
he's never once been late in his whole in the month. He's just got it down to a knack. So I'm afraid we can't help you with that question, but I'm hoping somebody else
it's
that
basically,
might be able to answer that for you.
if it depends how long you're taking off, because if it's only a couple of days, then you shouldn't need to worry much. But if it's a week or 2 weeks, then you might need to maybe work a couple of weekends if you don't already to try and get that work
maybe
squeezed
stay out a little bit later.
Because we had to do that recently, because I don't know if you know, those of you watching, I recently got laser eye surgery. Don't know if you can tell, my eyes are all bloodshot. I look like a Sith Lord from Star Wars.
I wasn't poking him in it.
No, she wasn't beating me up. The bruises are all lower down. But I got laser eye surgery and had to take a few days off work. So I anticipated almost taking a week off to recover. Fortunately, I didn't need quite as long as that, but I anticipated for that. So I worked bit longer and harder than I normally would.
Yeah. He just did a bit of a longer. He did a bit longer days, and he worked a couple of weekends as well, and it just meant
tried
that
to squeeze it in before before I had to go for the surgery. But I mean,
and then he ended up with a week. Almost
a week
at
off.
the end of the month anyway.
Well, the thing is, like I've said this before, that when I used to use things like the Unger S Plus channel, it's amazing how much time I'm saving not having to detail the windows, because when I used to use standard channels, my round, or as in America you call it the route, my route work, used to take me almost a month to get round, and then when the next month started, that would be the start of the round again. But now I'm using these Mormon tools, it's cutting down the time I'm spending detailing on every job, and it's really mounting up to the point where I'm getting faster and faster every month, and I've almost got a week off at the end of the month now. You know, can I get to about, was it 3.5 weeks, and then I'm finished.
Yeah, and Pete's work only really takes 3.5 weeks when he goes his normal speed, which is, someone's asking how many you clean a day. How many? Oh, well, I think it kind of depends on the sizes of the house, because if you've got maybe a few big houses to do, then you maybe only need to do 2, 3, 4 jobs. You kind of work on. Pete kind of works on making a certain amount a day.
Yes.
And he puts the houses together based on that. So, one day he'll say, "Oh, I need 5 houses." So maybe that's a bit low actually. I mean, 10 houses to make this
on
much.
Average,
15
I would
houses
say,
to make that much, depending on how much the houses are.
Maybe around, say, about a dozen on average, but I mean, it can vary. I mean, one day I might have maybe 15, 16, 17 houses to do. The next day might be some really big jobs, and I might only have a few houses to do. So it really depends. I just go for a certain amount. I use an app, a bit of software called Squeegee app. If you haven't used or seen that before, I've got a video on it called Squeegee app, so check that out. But basically what that is, it sorts my round out for me, and it tells me each day how much that I'm going to be earning that day. So I have a target for the day, so it's a good incentive to keep working and have a goal for your day. That's a good tip I would recommend. So
And Benjamin is asking, what type of rags do you use to dry the edges?
They're actually Unger ones. They're Unger ones, but I don't actually dry the glass because I use the liquidator, because I don't need to touch the glass. But for cleaning the frames, I use Unger
cloths. Frames and the sill. That's
frames
what we
and sills,
do.
yeah. So they're just basically cloths about that big by about that big, and they're Unger ones. I think they're not the heavy duty ones. The next one's down from that, but they dry out pretty quick, don't they? So they're pretty good. But I don't use the smooth microfiber cloths much anymore because I don't have to detail. It's more for lumpy glass, like you were talking about. Or leaded glass, stuff like that. Use it for.
We would use the microfiber for if you need to buff the glass a little.
Yes, that's it.
And we were talking about lumpy glass earlier. Anyone that didn't heard that was one of our pet hits.
Yes,
lumpy glass on the outside. Oh, and you have to, it can't squeegee that, so you have to rub it with the microfiber. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's have a look. Just reading your comments here, guys. Let's just find some comments to read out. Caleb, the business owner, says he uses the blue Huck towels.
Oh yeah.
So I've heard of them. Yep.
He's got a few scrims as well.
And Benjamin says the Unger rags are not worth. Oh, fair enough.
There you go.
Let's see.
Everyone's preference.
Yeah, well,
I think it depends where you are as well, because because Pete does his customers once a month, and where we are in Scotland, the windows don't get overly dirty. So I think we can get away with using the Unger ones that are not heavy duty. It's just literally for wiping off general dirt rather than...
The culture here is maintenance cleans. Residential homes are done usually once a month, once every 2 months here. I know in America they do it once or twice a year.
So that would be a big build-up, so it'd be tough to use it.
This is it. We're actually very fortunate here in the UK. I think it swings and roundabouts, because in the USA they can charge a lot more, but here the windows are easier to do. We don't have screens, we don't have to clean tracks, we don't have to usually gain access to the customer's home. We can just turn up, do the job, leave a ticket to say we've done the job, and that's it. So we're very fortunate here. Very, very
Yeah,
fortunate.
yeah. And Stephen is asking, what soap do you currently use and how does it work for you?
All right, okay. Currently,
good question, Stephen.
to be honest, I'll give you a bit of the backstory. I've pretty much always used Fairy Liquid or Aldi's Magnum, which is basically the same kind of thing, dish soap, which most window cleaners use. When the Mormon Squeeze Deluxe came out, I was using that, so I stuck with that for quite a few months, to be honest. I got a 5 litre container and used that completely. It's a really, really good solution. I found it doesn't leave quite the same sort of residue behind on the glass.
Is that what I'm using?
No, you've got Fairy now.
Oh, have
You've
I?
got, yes,
Okay.
yeah, because we ran out of the Squeeze Deluxe.
I like my dish soap actually. Do you know what?
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I switched back to the dish soap just because it seems to have the edge when it comes to glide.
It's a little bit more slippy, isn't it?
Yes.
Dish soap.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cheaper as well. So
Yeah, well, that's it as well.
yeah.
So, you know.
You just buy supermarket's own dish soap. We find that for us.
Or if you're Pulls and Blades, he just takes it from old people.
he borrows it from their house.
He borrows it with every intention of returning it on his next visit.
He returns it by putting it on their glass.
Yeah, this is it. But no, I mean, I stick to usually premium soaps because then you don't have to quite, use so much of it. You can just put a little bit on your applicator and it works perfectly fine. Because you'll see from a lot of my videos, there's very little squeaking of the squeegee on the glass. It's just nice and smooth, and in some videos I demonstrate by even just using a couple of fingers, and you can see it removing the solution off the glass, and there's no squeaking. I can't stand squeaking. It goes right through me. I just don't like it.
And hello Glass Realms, listening while cleaning windows from Texas. I hope you're having a lovely day.
It's a shout out there.
Yeah.
Send over some of your sunshine from Texas.
Yes, please do. It's cold and wet here in Scotland. Lidl's Platinum, yes.
Lidl
We use Aldi's version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably all from the same place.
But yeah, it's probably.
Lemon
is the best one to use, yeah.
Caleb says there's a chemical online to get rid of hard water, but I would be very careful with that. Yeah, I mean, anything that removes hard water normally, you have to watch what you're doing. Try not to get it on frames.
We don't have that problem here because we have soft water. But yeah, I think somebody was saying that they have hard water, you'll need to get rid of the source of the problem, which would be the sprinklers.
Yeah, we don't often have, I mean, sometimes what we do have is seepage from the top of the brickwork. Sometimes it's the cement runoff. Sometimes can seep out over time and onto the glass. So we use like the same kind of solution, hard water stain removal, because it seems to take that off as well. I'm trying to remember the name. I've got some in the van. It's like crystal something or other. I'll leave the link in the description below when the video is done. But there's a really good hard water and cement stain removal stuff that I've been using.
Well, there we go.
That's really good. So I'll leave
remember,
that link.
Test out a tiny little bit.
Yes.
Don't start cleaning the window.
Just test a little bit, in the corner just to see.
And Paul is asking, do you deal with paint spots, etc.?
Yes.
Would you use steel wood?
Steel wood?
Steel wool. Don't use steel wood on glass.
Don't you? Someone else needs the laser eye surgery.
Wool seems to be popular in America. Yeah, we use steel wool actually, and on our
mainly bronze.
Yeah,
steel wool rusts.
We do paint spots on the first clean.
Yeah.
So when we do the first clean, we charge a bit extra, 25%.
Yeah, about that.
We charge 25% extra for the first clean, and we do a full maintenance clean. We try and get all of the paint off. We go around the house a few times to make sure it's really spotless. We clean all the frames and the sills. So yeah, I actually still use steel wool for bird mess. Ingrained bird mess. Yeah, I use it for that still. No, that's bronze wool, is it?
We get our bronze wool from DA Components.
Yeah, I use bronze wool, for getting off birds' mess and things like that. I only do bungalows, so I can use it with my hand.
I gave you the easy stuff, didn't I?
Give me the easy stuff. He's good to me sometimes.
Yeah. Austin says, I need to know what to tell the customer when the hard water leaks between the two panes.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, because sometimes I think they think you're pulling their leg, don't they? If you tell them it's between the glass. But I mean, what I normally do is, if you can kind of tell the ones that kind of don't believe what you're saying, it's just to prove it to them. So you soap up the area in question on the outside, blade it off, it doesn't obviously move, go inside, do the same, and then they can see for their own eyes that you've done it on the outside, you've done it on the inside, you've used maybe your hard water stain removal stuff, and it's not budged. So that's worst case scenario. If they don't believe you, is try and prove it by doing that.
That's it.
That's all you can really do, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we started off this conversation and we were talking about pet hates. We covered quite a few of them, didn't we?
A few of our ones, yeah.
Has anybody got any more pet hates? I think that's so funny because you could really relate to pet hates, can't you, in the clean pet hates. So we went through, my pet hate was when they start putting plants and ornaments and things in front of the windows, so you start doing like a cool little dance to get the windows, and I was saying I can't squeegee the windows with my pole on this certain house because they started doing that, and my ornaments get in the way of pulling my pole all the way to the bottom to close out. So, and Pete was on about dog poop.
Yeah, I don't like standing
and we
on
were
that.
saying,
I call them the landmines.
Yeah, and we were saying you poor water-fed guys having to drag your equipment through that. Not so bad traditional because you can kind of just do a little,
jump
try and
over
avoid it. But yeah, Pete was saying if you get on your ladder rungs and
it
starts smelling it.
Oh, don't sniff it.
Yeah, don't sniff it.
John says washing lines. Yeah, they're annoying.
Washing lines, of
the amount of times I've tried to, I was doing a window that's over 20 feet in the air with a pole, and I'm like trying to squeegee it, and if you'll know yourself, if you're doing high traditional pole work, you kind of have to move with the squeegee a little bit. So there was a washing line off to my right. I went to move over to the right to try and close out the bottom of the window, and the washing line, it wasn't actually the line itself, but the metal just went bang inside that. I was like, badoing.
No.
The customer on the ground floor saw me. I was just burst out laughing.
I would have laughed as well.
Shit.
I mean, it's very hard when you're holding a
well, yeah, I was looking
and,
over 20 feet up in the air, so be aware of your surroundings. There's lesson learned, but yeah. But no, I was thinking of other ones. I did have one, but it's completely gone out of my head, which is really annoying. I've got other pet hates. What was it now? It's my old age kicking in, folks.
Open windows.
Oh, yes. Mind you, it's not quite so much of an issue if you're traditional. It's more of an issue if you're water-fed.
Yeah,
because water-fed,
that's what Jack's saying.
Yeah. It's, you're trying to get the frames done, I've got it. It's come back. It's all coming back to me now. This is a good one. Right. Working with a pole, and it was 65 feet up in the air, water-fed pole.
This is when you're working for a company.
When I work for a company. A hotel, right? Bearing in mind this is a hotel, there's people inside. I can see a light on. The window opened completely, swung in. The brush head, still squirting high-powered hot water, goes in to the hotel room, and because it's a 65-foot pole, there's quite a bit of a bend in it, and it's stuck in the room, spraying inside the window, and I'm like, and the thing is, in those, when I used to do water-fed window cleaning, there wasn't many shut-off valves, and our company didn't have them, so I couldn't really run and go and disconnect my hose. I could have maybe just tried to get my hose and kink it, but all I was thinking about was trying to get this pole out of the window. And because there was so much of a bend, it was like hooked on the window inside, spraying. So goodness knows, there may be, on their laptop or whatever, enjoying their 5-star hotel, and it's so I eventually got it out the window.
That's why we don't do commercial.
So
because Pete would break something.
Yeah.
I actually broke a windowsill just recently. One of my customers' windowsills.
Yeah.
When the window's open, I closed the window over. I just push it closed and then I squeegee it, and then I went to pull the window back open, and I pulled the little metal window ledge thing, and the whole thing came off. So I was trying to angle it back on, but I managed to get back on, and I did tell him. I knocked on the door and I said, "This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get your windowsill thing back on, just in case because they had the curtains wide open. They were practically looking at me. They would have been wondering what I was doing, but yeah, it went back on, thankfully. But yeah. Embarrassing moments whilst window cleaning.
Well, I've got Caleb said a really loud screeching sound when you're using the scraper.
Yeah, that can be quite
That's
worrying,
really annoying because sometimes you've soaked up the window and it's just the type of glass that you're working on. It's just got so much friction on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I think
it can
might
happen.
Be scared to continue doing that if it was making scraping noises. I might be like,
you would just go, squeegee.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. Oh, Clearview says, now this is our fellow Scotsman, what's Trad Girl's go-to squeegee?
My go-to squeegee is the Accelerator by Mormon. Because I do pole work as well. I do bungalows, which obviously only have, ground floor windows, but because I'm quite short, So Pete keeps telling me I'm quite short, but actually I think I'm average.
She auditioned for a part in The Hobbit, but they told her that she was way too big.
Yes, way too tall.
Way too big. Way too big.
I have to use a pole and a
That's really
squeegee,
nice.
so I use the accelerator on a pole, and so I prefer the accelerator actually.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tool.
What do I have in hand? A liquidator.
Oh dear. Back to the training board, guys.
I've got another one that doesn't swivel. Is that a liquidator?
You can tell she's a trainee. Yeah, it's a liquidator.
I use a liquidator sometimes in hand as well. I like my smaller 10-inch
Yes.
liquidator, so I use that quite a lot, especially if I'm doing doors and things.
She's in as much as training as some of the people watching the channel, so.
If I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me.
Yeah, well, tell them when you first started, you practiced on our house windows.
Practice it. Yes.
And what happened?
The squeegee was.
Don't blame the tool.
The squeegee wasn't working. It was definitely faulty squeegee.
The faulty squeegee, yeah.
It did get flung quite a lot across some bushes, so frustration and all that. Yeah, but I got there in the end. Yeah, it was a bit harder in the winter as well because they leave a lot more. It leaves a lot more lines in the winter, but they're the disappearing lines. So I was getting frustrated,
lines, yes.
thinking all these lines weren't going to disappear, but they do. So that I'm getting used to that now, and
it's the low light
there.
level shows it up. Yep, it just doesn't evaporate as quickly as it would when it's warmer climate.
Cold
so.
windows, the cold glass. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, so thank you for that question.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
that's mine.
Indeed.
Would you?
Yeah, okay. Somebody going, not nice, Peter.
No, it's not nice. No.
There we go. Feel better? Oh, great. Yeah, so we'll maybe just wrap it up there. We've been probably gassing for a wee
I
while.
think so.
Taking up a lot of your Saturday night, I do
Sorry, we've
apologise.
been going for more than an hour. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Oh, well.
If Pete doesn't stop talking. Hold on.
Oh.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We're signing out now. I have to keep my hand over his mouth, otherwise he'll keep talking and we'll be here until midnight. Anything last words? Nope. Bye! Have a nice day or have a nice night, whatever it is.
Now, Trad Girl's going to do the honours of turning off the camera while I do my signing out. You're not stealing my line this time. Okay then, squeegee slingers and water-fed pole wiggling wagglers. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, the links will be in the description below for the fundraising thing and also for the gloves, because we've had that mentioned before. We'll leave the link for that as well. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.